recording. I think this is where. There we go. All right, sweet. All right, I was talking about how the edges, right? Now, I'm gonna actually mark every single shelf that I see on my screen for you, and that's
Mhm.
how you'll find them. One sec, commentary box. Okay. Now, you see that it's tapering off right here. I'd personally use this shelf, the bottom shelf right here, over this one because there's more volume on this side, right? And it's this right here I'd call a value, right? And you have to differentiate which ones you want to use because there are tons of values, man, like right here, right here, right here, right? And you want to be able to differentiate which ones are actually good enough to use because in this case, there's like two shelves right here. Sure, they both can give you a reaction, but sometimes you just want to use one of the sides, you know?
Yeah.
Uh, 1 second. Okay, this is a shelf right here. Let me quickly no, this is a very steep fall off right here, so it's gonna be very hard, to actually get it correct. Wait, what the fuck? Alright, there we go. Now you also don't want to dig into too deep into the high volume, right? Right now it's not gonna be a good example because it's so steep, but you'll see what I mean on the next shows, right? So let's just drag it in, give you a brief example. But because it's so steep, it's very hard to actually, get correct. But in this case, it's going to be very small because you also do not want to dig too deep into the low volume node, right? You want to use where it tapers off. So that's a shelf right there for you. Let's drag that out. Terry box. Now you do not want to use these right here, inside the whole high volume area. You want to use the edges of them, right? Not the inside.
Uh,
Yeah, that's what a lot of you be doing, and it's not correct. In this case right here. Oh shit. Bang.
uh,
Just like that. You might want to do it just slightly lower, ever so slightly. Bang. Right there, that's your shelf right there. Boom. There's a shelf right here, but I don't know if I want to use that right there, but it's definitely, you know what, I will. That's for the sake of it. So you have a good, understanding on how to locate them and how they look like. There you go. Alright, you know what, it's going to take way too much time, so I'm just going to show you by hand. Right here, there's a shelf right here. Bang. Right here, this part right here is tapering off, shelf. You don't want to dig too deep into the low volume node. Now you wouldn't use this as a shelf because it's a much more steeper fall off right here. So let's say you pop a shelf down from here to like bang right here. From 815.50 to fucking 91 for example, right? Now this is a much bigger shelf compared to these ones up here. That's why you're gonna use, look for more things within that area, right? Go on, or like find the VWAP, deviation band within that little area. Just find something that you can use that's much more like specific and accurate because the shelf is so big. Now, bang, right here. This is a very nice steep fall off for a shelf. No, can I find your actual solid examples? Or perfect. All right, this will be much better. 1 second. Alright, this actually will be very good now. We're going to turn off the TPOs actually. Yo, okay. Okay. Alright, as I was talking, right? Now you You can see there's a shelf right here. Reaction, reaction. We don't have a reaction over here. It just slices down. We get a reaction off this shelf. Reaction off the slow volume node. Bang. Shelf right here that I was talking about. There you go, the bottom part. Now, right here is the shelf, but it's much more hesitant going downwards. Now, once we retrace back upwards, you can see that we react off this whole high volume area, tapping into this low volume rejection. Okay. Bang, volume shelf right here. You get two nice reactions right here. Rejection of this whole, low volume pocket right here. Shelf. We ignore this low volume node pocket. I mean, sort of. We kind of just stumbled around there. We tap the mounting peak right here of this high volume area. Rejected. Okay, now we drop down. Let's look at this pocket right here. Shelf, tap it. We actually, enter this like volume pocket of high, volume. We enter it, we reject upwards instantly. We imbalance straight away. We find a area that we can reject from. We drop back down. Now, you could I'd call this a weak shelf right here, since there isn't actually enough, volume for this pocket. Then low volume node. Now, oh shit. Let's now go back for more examples. Reject from this high volume node right here. We tap into this high volume node right here, sort of shelf. We reject, go back up. We retest the extreme of this high volume node, go back up, and we start stumbling right here, as you can see, slowly climbing up, but stumbling. We drop, shelf, double rejection, and then rejection right here. We try testing this high volume right here. We reject. And that's pretty much how you use, the volume profile, man. It's mainly, auction market theory, really, man. These high volume areas, us rejecting, us, stumbling, seeking balance and whatnot. Now let's go back to actually locating these shelves, right? Okay, who was around here, right? Shelf, not a shelf right here. You would not classify this as a shelf. It's too low volume compared to the other mountain peaks, right? Boom, shelf right here. Now, yes, shelf right here. I wouldn't necessarily call this a shelf. I'd rather, I wouldn't even use this area right here actually. We drop down, shelf, no shelf right here. This is not a shelf, low volume node. High volume, high volume. I wouldn't really use anything inside here necessarily. Fall off right here. You can see it's tapering downwards. Shelf right here, shelf. I wouldn't, yes, shelf right here, this whole area. And you can clearly see these shelves are almost merging into these high volume areas, but you want to have a fine line between low volume node and high volume node. You're going to be using the middle line, right? And that's pretty much it for shelves, man. Very simple. Did everyone understand? Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Was that a good explanation?
Yeah.
Anyone else? Okay. Now, what is it saying here? Just dive in whether you have enough capital to get past. Oh, let's talk about equity. Alright, let's see the tag. Do you record this and put it out so we can watch again? Yep, I'm recording right now on OBS. What are your journey in your journal, Jan? Let's see. Wow. Alright, I don't know if I'm going to read through all of them right now. Let's go to the more recent. Wow, you've done a lot, man. Good job, honestly. You know what? You let me know after this call is finished. I'll actually, personally have a look on this call. Um, how do you know when the +1 deviation band and the 50% band will get hit? You don't. I mean, unless you have context, right? Let me actually go back to these charts. 1 second. Alright. I mean, today's a very poor example, man, to use VWAP, if I'm being honest. You can just, we're just grinding against the deviation band too. And really, with experience, you're gonna like know and understand when this is gonna be happening, and in that case, you just look too long, man. When we're just grinding against it, like right here, just grinding against, and we're not hitting it purposely, not hitting it. We hit, we sell off, not much of a reaction. We instantly go back up. That's when it's just gonna carry on going up. But alright, let me. When do we know? Alright, that's right. This could be a good example here. I'm pretty sure this right here was a POC that we tapped. Okay. Let me turn on the TPOs. Might be able to find it. Uh, yes, it was the untapped POC, right? Now, this whole area right here is a part of this TPO. We can see this POC, after us dropping down, we reject from this low volume node, we go back up, we tap this POC, we can clearly see by the tick. What is a tick? 54.75. 54.75 top ticks. Now, let's say you limited this, right, and not entered off the DOM. Even if you did, let's say you entered off the DOM, I don't know, you enter here, for example, I don't know, however you're good, you can enter right here, doesn't matter, right? You entered, right, for shorts. You normally, most of the time at least, I have a TP. If I do enter off of negative or +2 deviation bands, right? I normally just set TP at median VWAP level right here. And when you grab a decent entry off of these bands or beyond these bands, when you have context and a level, a lot of the times, man, it will drop down to deviation band, right here, the median, and it will reject, man. And these are honestly the best type of trades I personally take, and they always, always, always work, man. And yeah, level context beyond the +2 or +0.2 deviation band, always ride into median. If you wanna less risk, ride it to the +1, for example. Same here. You enter off of we open, tap the -2. You can ride it to the fucking +1, but we're clearly very bullish, and that's a bad example. Right here, we tap the +2, reject, go to the median. We reseek the volume, go back up. I hear a tag. More example, please. On what and on what? Can talk more about this view of SLDB because I don't know about it. This isn't standard deviation. This is just what these levels right here are called. This is +2, +1, median, -1, -2. You might be thinking, where am I getting these numbers from and minuses? Band 1 is going to be, I have it on 0 opacity, I'm pretty sure. Band 1 is just this right here, these two. The outline, I have it on 0 opacity. Now, band 2 is the white lines. I don't use band 3. And the general, this one right here, is the median. Alright, let me actually find more examples for you. Yeah, I can't, like, 2 days in a row, very bad examples to use, man. Yeah, that's just unlocking our part, man. That's why you don't want to use, yeah, you want to have other things that you can rely on, alright? But anyways, we tap the +2, and we just continue dropping, man. Yeah, bad example. Let's go on this day. This is much better, right? Now, you can see the whole day how it all plays out, right? We open, we pump, we find an area where we can reject from, but we are grinding against this +2 band. I'm not actually going to go on the TPO on the volume profile to actually, find areas where we rejected off of right now, because that's just very long and a lot of effort. But let's say you found a level, right? Let's be, a bit more realistic, and let's say you didn't top tick, right? Let's say your level was 63.25, for example. We tap it, you use a DOM, right? We tap the last time we tap the +2, and then we drop, and that's your context, And then you easily just ride your TP to the deviation, the median. Now, you might be getting scared of these right here. Now, you can use the +1, for example, deviation bands, right, as your retest. You can definitely, right here, perfect example as well, man. I don't know if you can see or not. You tap the +2. Let's say you've got context with a level right here. We retest this high, and you can, if you did miss this entry, you can always enter on the retest, man. Very nice, man. Honestly, I love entering off the retest, man. And then we dive down, we try going back up a bit, we test the +1, and we dive back down. TP at the median. How many points is that? Let me see. Let's be realistic. Let's say you entered here. 27.25 points. And considering one contract, 10 points is $500, man, you can do the math right here. That is about 1.7k, I believe. Alright, more examples. We continue diving down. We find an area where we reject off of. Right here, ±1. Bang. Now, you can either have a TP here or a partial at the median, and then right here. And you can clearly see how we are playing off of. Now, you can use a median as areas you can reject from, or areas that I can, balance within. And you can clearly see we're balancing within, and you can definitely get some trade entries off of it, man. Look, median, we balance on it, and then we dive down, we retest the median, dive back down, TP at the ±2. Balancing on the median. We tap the +2. We dive back down, TP at the median, here, doesn't matter. And a lot of the times, man, my TPs are based off of the VWAP deviation bands, because there are clear signs, that's where price can reject from. Let's try to find some more examples. Oh shit. Let me delete this. You're not supposed to see that. Alright, we open, we dive down, we got reaction, bam, you enter on the retest, pump, rejection from here, we tap the +1, bang, reaction right here. And you can clearly see we're getting like crazy reactions off of these bands, man. And I personally use the +1 and +2 deviation bands instead of the 3, because I find the best reactions off of them. Is there any more questions at the moment? Am I recording this? Yes, I am. What would you class as a protected high, low? Like, what are the requirements? I'll be so honest, man. I have no clue what that is. I see everyone, quoting those words. I think it's equal high and equal lows, man, if I'm being honest. I think that's what it is, man. I think protected highs and lows are equal highs. And what would you class? Honestly, for equal highs, man, it's just equal highs, man. Don't overcomplicate them. A specific time I trade. Now, I used to trade whenever my level gets hit, but because my levels ended up changing a bit, now I just like stick to trading real time hours, mainly 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. I very rarely now like trade, Asian hours or London hours, for example, like in general off hours. Sometimes I might, hop on PM, but that's just even more rarer. But if my main strat, if I'm trading Asian or London or off hours in general, is I use VWAP plus Storm, and you can clearly see, man. Look, the off hours right here, you can see the reaction, man. It's amazing during these off hours, and they're extremely sensitive off of these areas during off hours. You can easily get payouts using trading VWAP plus Storm during these hours. Um, can you talk more? So, how do you use TPO charts to find levels? I do not use TPOs, but honestly, the best person to ask, my God, there's a lot of you in here, man. The best person you can ask for TPO help is Held, man. He's probably the best person in the server that uses the TPOs, man. He's very good with them. Back when I started, man, and I used to use TPOs, man, I'd use real-time hour TPOs a lot, um, general full days. But when you're using TPOs, you have to pair them. Like if you're using these, components, value area high, lows, and whatnot, I don't recommend using them, if I'm being honest, man. But if you're a beginner, perfectly fine, right? Now, when you're using these levels and components, you have to pair them with volume profile and AMT. Without them, your in quotes, your TPO levels are not going to be good, man. You have to pair them with AMT and volume profile. You have to. So important. How you use I saw people using the 1.5. Do you think 1 and 2 is the best option? Yes, I do. I personally do not experiment, man. I just use, the one basic standard 1 and 2. If you wanna, experiment, use a 1.5 and 2.5. It's up to you, man. Nice, thanks. We are both. Yep, I love you, man. Very good. How do I add VO to my chart? Are you on Quant or are you on Motive or are you on TradingView? Um, on Quant Tower. Man, I wish I can show you right now, but I do not have Quant Tower anymore. I deleted it. The You know what you can do? If you need any Quant Tower help, like general help, man, who you can ask right now, because he actually uses Quant, is this guy right here, man. He's amazing. Bang. This guy right here. Oh, so I'm going to show his username, streamer mode enabled. But that is his tag. Message him. Anything regarding Quant Tower. What else do you have? One chart down. Do you use open high low? I don't know why I use on the VO patch. Let me just check. It's not even an option, man, for me to show you what I use. It's just I use default, man. Whatever is the default, use the default, man. Alright. Whatever gives you straight off the bat, that's what you're gonna use, man. That's why I recommend. I'm pretty sure that's why I use default and general, and then use these general bands right here, band 1 and band 2. That's why I recommend. If you want, go ahead and experiment. Use something else. How long does it take to learn the DOM and use it in the live markets? Very good question. Now, to actually be consistently good with the DOM and I'd say it takes about 5,000 to 10k trades to actually be considered good, right? I'd say I'm around the 1k mark, and I'm just a beginner on the DOM, man. And the best thing that I can recommend you to do, right, is just spam trades on the DOM, like 50 to 100 trades a day on demo, and you'll get good very, very fast, man. Just spam trades, right? Now, at the start, it's okay if you're just spamming them, but once you start progressing, you want to start spamming them in terms of you don't want to be a retard and just spam them, right? You want to have context, right, when you're entering off the DOM. So start progressing towards that, right? Find your context and, for example, get a level and see how the DOM behaves, how it rotates between sellers and buyers, man. And after you've been spamming, countless of trades per week, months, you'll see a difference, man, and you'll see your progress. Because if you're right, let me actually show you. I've got plenty of content on the DOM, right? A lot. This is probably like the only category with this many videos, man. There's a lot of videos, right? Now, you're right. This is gonna be sound a bit crazy, right? You're not gonna get good if you're just watching the videos, man. You're only gonna get as good, right? Because you actually have to perform. You actually have to trade in order to, you know, to catch trades, man. If you're just gonna be watching videos and not trading on the DOM, you're not gonna get any good, man. If anything, the person that's spamming trades and barely even watching the videos, he's gonna be better than you. It doesn't matter if you know that, like all these terms called, I don't know, absorptions, flushed, sellers or buys and whatnot, man. The person that's spamming trades is the person that's gonna be better because he's gaining experience, man. Screen time is so important. But yeah, honestly, the DOM is probably the hardest thing you can possibly learn in order flow. But generally, it's actually very simple, man. Like in the vast scheme of things. Yes, I use Daily View Up. I just want to say thank you for creating the server. I've been procrastinating learning order flow for a bit, but the resource are here. Thank you very much for your kind words, man. It means a lot, honestly. Thank you. What's this? Oh, we need to go. Can we finish this tomorrow? Yeah, we can finish this tomorrow, man. No worries. Just send me a message and I'll start. Cool. Yeah. The DOM on the quant is good. It's not that bad. It's just like the general software quant tower isn't good, but for beginners it's perfect, man. It's perfectly fine to use quant tower if you're a beginner. You don't need to, buy Motivewave or Sierra Charts or NinjaTrader or wherever else there is. Is there any more questions that I can go over? Ask anything, man. There is no stupid questions right now, man. If you have a question and you want to know something, just say it right now. Absolutely anything. I'll go over anything. Do I mainly use nodes or shells and ledgers? I use all three of them. I use low volume nodes, high volume nodes, shells, and AMT. AMT is the most important. Having your thought process behind AMT is like the number one thing, if I'm being honest, man. But these four things is what I use: low volume node, high volume node, shells, AMT. Do you also use tools from RCG? No, I do not. I just randomly joined the server since my friend invited me. I have no clue what this is. I'm pretty sure it's Fractals, man, but I don't know. Well, if I'll leave right now, I don't really know what it is. How do you use DOM for entries? Good question. Right, the thing, is it closed? Oh, just not connected, I think. Right, let me connect.
Assalamu alaikum.
That's good, brother.
Alaikum salam.
It's loading, can't really move my thing. Give it a second. I'll explain how you can use a DOM. Yo. Okay. Let's go back to this state right here. Now, how you can use a DOM, strictly using ViewUp plus DOM. This is what I often do a lot of times. Now, let's get started, alright? We have the bands, right? We are approaching these bands +2, you know, +1, -1, median, -2. And as we tap these levels and approach them, you want to be looking at the DOM, alright? At the DOM, right? We're approaching a level, right? Let's say the level is right here. We are heavily buying, right? We tap the level, bang, and then the buys start stalling, for example, sellers start pouring in, buyers get flushed, bang, there's a trade entry, you know. That's a very basic example, very simple. I'm not gonna go too into depth types of entries on the DOM right now, but really, as you know, price, right? Price approaches your level or your VWAP, you know, deviation band or whatever you're using to catch a trade. It can even be a fair value gap, all the blocks, it doesn't matter. You watch the DOM as it approaches, man. You seek an entry, you enter, bang. It's simple as that, man. And you also want to be refreshing as we're approaching a level, your deviation band doesn't matter, right? You refresh as we're approaching. That way you have fresh data, you know, flowing in. And because if you're gonna leave the DOM running the whole day, you're gonna be pretty much using outdated, you know, data pretty much. It's just gonna be, you know, not up to date or up to time. That's pretty much it, I'm pretty sure, for the DOM. It's really simple, man. Approaching level, look at the DOM. After we tap the level, look at the DOM. Look at the reaction, look how it all rotates. What's OBJ? I don't know. Where did you see that? Where did you see OBJ? What's my exact entry model? It's just the DOM, man. It's just the DOM. That's all I use for my entry model. Oh, fractal stuff. I have no clue. Yeah, you're best off asking Yags, man. Oh, buyer's objective. That's what it is. It's buyer's objective, where you know buyers will close their trades. Yeah. Is there any more questions? Don't be shy to ask, man. Any questions at all? It can be absolutely anything. Let's see. Is DOM view up good enough or enough? Yes, it can be. Yes, but right, this is actually a very good question, man. Very good question. Is DOM view up enough? It can be, but you want to have different models and strategies because look, we've been dumping, right? Like from like February, and view up like today and yesterday, right? It's not going to be good enough. You can clearly see. And then you're going to ask yourself, right? Do you want to stay out of a day like this? Or do you want to trade? And if you want to trade, you want to use more things, such as, you know, having volume profile or extra levels, man. That's why I have multiple like models and strategies that I use when one other doesn't work, man. But if you want to solely trade DOM and view up, man, you're just gonna have, you know, build boundaries when to trade and whatnot. But it can certainly be enough. If you want to keep it simple, man, go for it. This can work. Do you have an example of AMT playing out this week? It's playing out every single day, every single second. Let me find a decent enough example. Whoa, who's that? Me or Mike, please. Yep, ZFM. Okay. Now, we're balancing in this high volume node. I'm going to use strictly your TPOs, right? I mean, not TPOs, volume profile for AMT. If you want to use TPOs, you're going to have to like fully zoom out and using, on a vast scale. Now, high volume node, we're balancing within this high volume node. We imbalance, we find balance in this pocket of, decently volume right here. We find the pocket. We exit one last time. We go down, find balance again, and we're just creating balance in this area. We imbalance. Bang, we open. We're playing within this little volume node. Just having balance right here as well. It doesn't matter. Sometimes it's just like that, man. We might be balancing in a low volume node area. That can be, don't know. Sure, we can balance in a low volume node and a high volume node area. And we can also reject from a low volume node and a high volume area. It works both ways. We balance, imbalance, we tap the extreme of a balance area, we reject, tap the extreme again, slightly tapping into this high volume. Actually, no, we're not. We're just tapping the extreme. We dive back down. Imbalance, imbalance again. Let's go back, scroll back more. Whoa. Just imbalance straight. Imbalance again, this whole pump. Yeah, honestly, these past, few weeks has been very hard for everyone to trade. But buying imbalance. We see some form of balancing right here. Let me actually scroll out with it. Well, let me quickly grab a picture and I'll post my TikTok story with all of you guys in here. 1 second. We can use this. Alright, hold up. Alright, where was we at? 4 AMT. Alright, let me scroll out. Just let it load for a second, man. It's be a bit slow. Oh my god. Alright, I'm gonna be able to show you much better. Alright, perfect. Fucking hell, load, please, man. Alright, we balance the top here, imbalance, reject, we start, imbalancing again. We find some form of balance in this right here. We exit the balance, tap in this, spike right here. We reject some form of balance. We imbalance again. Bang, bang, bang. Balance, imbalance, balance, escape the balance. We imbalance again. Balancing, imbalance, go back up, seek balance. We balance, we dump, balance right here. Alright, bigger scale. We balance right here. We escape the balance by tapping this high volume node extreme. we bang imbalance, some form of balancing right here. We escape the balance, we take out these lows, whatever, if you want to look at it here like that. We tap the extreme of this high volume node, we imbalance, we balance the top right here. Also form, taper volume off, low volume node right here. We reject, imbalance, balance right here. On this extreme, we dig upwards into this mountain. We reject, imbalance. We reject off the spike, imbalance. Do you get the idea? I hope you do. Aura farming on the live. What do you mean? What do you mean, man? Do you use TPO opens as in confluence to buys? Like if you want a long and open and be open in a value or that. I know people that use that in the server and it works. Good for them. I personally don't use it, man. But you can. It's perfectly fine if you use it, man. I've got my own way of trading, man, and that's it. We can certainly use it like that. Alright, see you tomorrow. Ask, but what do you normally use for your levels? Right, I can't reveal my main level since I don't want to reveal it, but I'll let you know 2 other things I use, right? Now, a good thing I can use, right, is these high, volume extremes. And you can clearly see, right, if you're just looking at my chart, we are getting some amazing reactions off of these extremes, man. Another way I use volume profiles, the low volume nodes, high volume nodes, and the shells, man. Those are the main things I use off the volume profile. And you also, of course, have to look in the perspective of AMT. And then the other thing I use is just VWAP, man. I've got my strat during off hours and during real-time hours. So it's volume profile and VWAP for, my levels. Yeah. My event. Alright, Vila. Does anyone else have any more questions? Anyone else? There is no stupid questions right now, man. This right here is the time to ask, man. Right now is the perfect time to ask. You will not be shamed. You know what caused the pump today? Let me have a look. I don't exactly know, but let me have a look. Pump, what do you mean? By the opening or what? Like, which pump? This is a good question. Yeah, Z, let me know which pump exactly you're talking about, like what time. What's a good way to spot absorption of the DOM? You can use a footprint. Ah, I wish I can show you right now, but I don't use a footprint. There is a channel, of course, for absorption. You can watch that, but you can use the footprint for absorption. It's gonna be appear almost the same on the DOM either way. And alright, so for absorption, if I remember correctly, it should be. So you got a candle, right? We tap a level. You want to see overall negative delta on a bullish candle with the POC at the bottom of the candle. Do you understand? And the POC has to be at the bottom 33% of the candle with negative delta with a bullish candle. That's your absorption candle. And then you can see a strong rejection. The overall day, we made the low of day in Asia. Alright, let me first look at the TP, volume profile. Alright, so the bottom right here. What happened to our slowing? That's fine. Shelf. That's it, man. The shelf, the bottom shelf is right here, and the top of the shelf is right here. We might not directly tap it, but it's pretty much a shelf, man. Yeah, we don't directly tap it, but we are still reacting off of the area. But there's a low volume node right here that we also tap into. Yeah, low volume node pretty much, man. It's, areas that we can reject from. Let's see actually the chart. On the chart, absolute bottom, you wouldn't have had anything turned off of, like view up standpoint. But for today, man, you can like, oh, this is actually good. You can just look at the view up, man. You can just tell by the way it looks, man. That's just, it's just gonna pump, man. And with experience and screen time on the view up, man, you're just gonna know when that's the case, man. I hope that helped. Did that help you? I hope it did, man. We'll repeat that real quick. Let me write it down. Repeat what? Oh, okay, one sec. Yeah, absorption candle, right? That's your title. Go ahead and put the date if you want as well. But you got a footprint candle, right? Let's say it's approaching a level. You want to see negative delta, right? Now you might be asking how much, delta. I recommend, a few hundred, man, for a strong, absorption reaction. Now you have a good amount of delta. Let's say you wanna catch longs, right? It's going to be negative delta with a bullish candle, and the POC is going to be at the bottom half, the 33% of the candle at the bottom. That's how it's going to look. Let me try find picture examples. What? It's not here. Oh, it's right here. I've got videos. Bang. I've got 5 videos, very short videos, man. Like, they're all below 30 minutes, I'm pretty sure. Watch them from top to bottom and it explains you them very well. Let's see what else we have. Thanks, you're welcome. And on TPO, there was no necessary level. Day opened and we just instantly started going up. On no show for ledge got tapped either, I believe. Yeah, pretty much. The shelf didn't actually get tapped, but you can just, it reacted off of the general area. Let me actually see something on the TPOs. Let's see what we have on the TPOs. Apply. I mean, we took the slow, but that's not a specific, level that you can enter off of. But really, man, you can see how we reacted off of this, low volume node, man. We strongly rejected that. But on the TPOs, man, there's not much, man. I mean, I probably have levels, but I don't want to go on my main chart to review my levels. But you know what? Let me just open it. I don't know. I don't want to risk it, man. How can I show you? For example, let's do this. This is New York TPOs. Ooh. Well, let me turn off the candles. Alright, so we've got this naked POC. No, that's not naked POC. Yeah, honestly, man, there's nothing on the TPOs, man. That's why I don't rely on them. That's why I don't use them. But honestly, you can ask Held. He is much better than me on the TPOs, much more better. You can ask him if he saw anything on the TPOs. Alright, let me turn it back to normal. Okay, is there any more questions? Yeah, just you're gonna have to distinguish the days when you can trade and not to, and how you have to also gather data, how good your strat or model is, how good it is for specific days, man. And you gotta be able to distinguish when it is those actual profitable days, man. It ain't that deep. Deep on what? No input got tapped. Alright, appreciate you. No worries, man. Is there any more questions? Any more questions, man? Be sure to ask. Any more questions, man? Anyone else? Anyone else? Yes, it's 100% worth it, man. 100% worth it. Been training without confirmation, yeah. Sure, you can get payouts just by limiting your levels, man. But do you really want to be trading like that? You can ask yourself. And that's perfectly fine if you do, man. It's your, style of trading. If you limit levels. I've only been trading for a year, man. A year and a few months. But I've been, yeah, trading order flow for approximately since like November, I'd say. Yeah, November, like mid-November. Yeah. I'm fairly new to this as well, but the only reason I'm this good, man, is screen time. I put a lot of work into this, man. A lot of work. I mean, a lot of work. And I also had amazing people that guided me towards correct directions. That's the only reason I'm this good. Worth for just scalping or for longer holding trades. Now, a lot of people might say DOM is only for scalping. Oh, you can only scalp with the DOM. Sure, yes, right. But when you start applying like significant levels that order flow tools give you, you simply use those levels and use the DOM to get a extraordinary entry, man. That's literally it. Any more questions, anyone? Can be anything, man. I'll go over absolutely anything. Because if there isn't any questions, man, I'm just gonna end the call. I use daily VWAPs. Daily. I use daily. Before, I used to trade whenever I want to, or when price starts approaching my level. But now mainly I just stick to 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. mainly. But if I am busy during the day, I might trade electronic time hours, off hours, Asian, London, whatever you want to call it. I'll just trade that time, and it's most of the time I'd only use VWAP pretty much and just use DOM for entry. Since during those time it's very sensitive to the VWAP. Very. So the best usage for DOM is confirmation for your entry when you're approaching a marked out level. Yes. Your level can be absolutely anything, man. It could be a 15-minute fair value gap center, it doesn't matter. A level is a level, man. As long as it gives you a reaction, it's a level, man. Can you use DOM for TP? Yes, you can. Z I use daily. Any more questions, man? It can be literally just like this, man. Basic questions. Anything, man. Come on, guys. You surely have to have questions. Come on. How else are you gonna learn? How would you use DOM for TP? Right. Now it depends if you're letting a trade run, or if you've got an area where you would like to take a TP, right? Now, if you're letting the trade run, then in that case, you're gonna have to be watching the DOM, right? While the trade is running. If you've got an area where you would like to take TP, but if there isn't any reason to take TP and you can clearly see on the DOM that it has potential to go more, just simply, for example, let's say you want to take TP right here, right? So you shorted this right here, right? You shorted, and you might want to take TP at the +1 deviation band, right? You see that, buy step in but isn't significant, right? They're not overwhelming the sellers, right? Then you can see that on the DOM that they're not, overwhelming the sellers, and then you simply hold the trade if you ain't see any reason to take TP, and then bang, you get what you wanted and you get your rejection. And then in that case, you'd have your TP, on the median. Do orders that are sitting on the DOM and get filled affect the strength of reversals? By orders, what do you mean? Do you mean the limit orders? The default, limit orders. I don't really use the limit orders, man, at all. It's just there for looks, if I'm being honest. I don't use them at all, but you've got the good idea. If they do get filled, if they do get filled, they're just going to be displayed on, market orders, man. It's just going to be displayed here, so it doesn't really matter. How old am I? I'm 18. Can you explain overnight inventory? Because I never learned that. I've got people that use them. If you want to learn about overnight inventory, man, ask Held, alright? Who is Held? Right here, man. He is amazing with the TPO. Ask him anything revolving around that, man. He can teach you about overnight inventory. Do you use fractals and what do you think about them? I do not use fractals. What do I think about them? They're amazing. They're pretty cool, man. I've seen people get nice entries off of fractals, man. Fractals are nice. They're cool. Do I use CVD divergence? No, I do not. Quick Q, your main level, does it consist of order flow? Yes. No. No. It doesn't use order flow, but it uses the tools that order flow traders may use. Yeah. My algo, which algo? Motive-wave or quant tower, I would always recommend Motive-wave, man. If you are, you're comfortable spending $50 a month, then go for it, man. If you don't want to spend money, use quant tower, it's perfectly fine for beginners to use quant tower. SD, no, my main level is not SD. Although I do use SD, Quantistat here and there. I use it here and there. Yeah, my main levels are not SD or flow. That's pretty much as much information I'll give about my main levels, man. But really, I'm hiding. Yeah, I'm 100%, man. I'm not gonna reveal my main levels, man. That's the only thing I'm not gonna be sharing, man. The only thing that will remain hidden. Any more questions, anyone? Can be anything, man. It can be anything. I look for everything, man. Whatever gets presented to me, I take. I don't look for anything specific, because I feel like that limits you. Therefore, I use whatever I see. That's like more applicable for my trading style. Although for others, people that have strict entry rules, that might work for them. Because if they're using, trade the way I trade, where I not necessarily freestyle, but I take whatever I let myself be free pretty much. For others, that might be extreme information, like overwhelming or whatnot. What do you think about Sierra charts and heat maps? Heat maps are so, they're bad, they're pointless. They're pretty much giving you fake information. They're spoofed. Sierra charts is great. It's very hard to set up and use, but if you're able to use them and whatnot, Sierra charts is great. It's better than Multiwave if anything, but it's just a pain to use, man. And Multiwave is more user friendly. Trap traders on the Footprint? I do not know, man. I don't use Footprint. I only know I honestly forgot a lot of the stuff on Footprint. I haven't used it for months. I just use Dom for entry. Oh, who you can ask for Footprint, man? You can ask Velon for Footprint, man. Nah, he's pretty good with it. I'm pretty sure. You can ask Craft Soul, I think his name is. Wait, where is he? Quantar. Where's Quant? Quant. You can ask him anything revolving around Footprint. He's pretty good with it as well. How would you trade a trendy like today? It seemed like my trades, which was getting ran through, there was no retest. Good question. You just simply look for longs, man. Find areas where you can rebalance, and then you find that rebalance and you get an entry. Like buying rebalances right here. You can grab a long, or just like right here, you can enter off the +1 long. +1 long. Rejections off the +1 long. Wait, I forgot this one thing that's called. It's where you are. Man, I forgot what it's called. But it looks something like this. I don't know, like you draw it along the lines, like the bottom way, also horizontal line. I don't know what it is, man. You just like grab it like this, and you do, and you do on the other side, man, and you can clearly see that it's uptrend, and you can just end off of that, man. I've seen people do that and it works. I don't necessarily use that, man, but you can. But once again, +1, you got another, trade entry right here. Bang, there you go. That's how you trade a one direction day. For example, right here, this is much harder, right? -1, we dig deeper into the -1, we reject the median, and right here, you would be using DOM and you would be watching for sellers to step in, right? They step in, bang, it didn't tap the median, that's fine. You saw on the DOM that seller stepped in right here, and you take the trade and you ride it. That's how we would trade these type of days. That's how I would, personally trade these days. Do I also swing trade? Very rarely, man. I'm not that good at swing trading. I'm not that good at that. What are we learning? We're learning everything, man. Trendline, yeah, I think that's what it's called. Trendline liquidity, that's it. I'm pretty sure TDM taught something around that, man. Yeah. How do you find correct areas, ranges to find levels off of? Wait, what? How do you find correct areas, ranges to find levels? Using AMT, man, and volume profile. Once I upload this whole video, man, you will see what I was talking about. I don't really want to repeat myself again for like the fourth time, but use AMT and volume profile personally, man, and you can like find areas where they can possibly rejection, and you can either use that as a level, a general level, or you can find a level within that area. In that case, that's how you would do it. The black sheep mantas. Not really, man. Not really. I think I've seen them on TikTok. I don't really know. Maybe not, man. You good friends with Eve? No. He's just, he's been on my server before, and that's how I know him from. I'm not necessarily good friends with him. I'm just, we just know each other. That's all, man. Yeah, I only trade DS, man. I very rarely hop on NQ, man. Like 10% of the time, maybe 15, max 20. Very rarely go on NQ. I find ES much more cleaner, smoother, more accurate, much more precision. And really, if you're finding ES, just messing about and not good volume, and that means you're looking at a bad area to trade pretty much, man. You just click off. Not a big deal. What is the best advice you can give to traders, man? Very good question. I actually have no clue, man. It really depends, man. What's the best advice? At the moment, my mind is blank from just so much explaining, man. What's good advice? Yeah, I'll be honest, man. Right now, my bank is empty, man. My mind is empty. That's why. At this moment in time, I won't give you an answer. I'm not trying to force an answer for you, man. Don't strat hop. That's just a general advice, man. Not necessarily, highly good advice. Thoughts on SMT? It's alright. It's good. I don't use it because I forget to use them. Yeah, I just forget about them, man. But it's good. I like it, man. It's a strong confidence. Appreciate it, man. Take care. Not too long, man. Only a few months. Only a few months. And I wouldn't call that profitable, man. I'm just like, like I'd say like you would estimate profitability on like 12-month basis, man. Like minimum like 8. If we really want a low ball, 6, man. But I'm not at that level yet. But I know that I'm capable of teaching others because I am able to earn other people payouts and whatnot and significantly improve their trading. Good advice, Vilon. Good advice. Vilon is a great example, man. He's been in the service since the start, man. He knew nothing about order film, I'm pretty sure, and he stuck with me since the start, man. And you can clearly see what progress he has made, man. He's amazing. It's very good. I started watching T trades on YouTube. This is advice, not a plug, so not up to me. Uh, man, I need water, bro. There's a lot of you in here, man. Come on, surely more of you have got questions, man. Surely. Munad, Meatball, Jin, Shibuya, Sinan, come on. Ask some questions. Satanic symbol, man. Z, Psyche, R, Pronix, come on, Nelson. Let's get some questions in here. How should I place my stop losses? Right, very good question. I'd personally recommend a set stop loss in every single trade. Like that's what works best for me, man. Yeah. A set stop loss. I personally use like 2 points or like way less when on ES, for example. 2 points or way less. Like it will be like 0.5 to 2 points stop loss most of the time. On the dom, off the dom on ES. But yeah, the best thing that you can do with stop loss is having a step stop, stop loss for each trade. Did I do a day recap? Not necessarily, man. Like this, this video that I'm making right now, it's very general advice, just speaking about everything pretty much. I got introduced to this by favorite here. Is he profitable? If you know, I do not know if he's profitable. I've seen some trades from him from Order Flow. He's pretty good. He's pretty decent. Became profitable. Was it more subtle? Yes, I did. It's like, and when my mind is empty right now. I'm really trying to think back right now. It was definitely like a aha moment, when I, for example, worked towards my first ever payout. It's when very good. It's when I started, following my actual like plan and model, man, honestly, because a lot of times when I was trading, like I'd have multiple green days in a row, man. I'm like on a high, right? Dopamine rush and whatnot, right? And then suddenly I start trading according to my plan and my model, and that's when I start losing, man. And then I spiral down, and then I look back, I recognize I was winning when I was, following my stuff. I hop back on it and then bang. But in that case, back then I was very inconsistent. My psychology is like incredibly bad back then, man. Even now, man, if I'm being honest, like it's significantly better, but it can definitely be even more better. But back then, like months back, it was for me. It was either max daily loss limit 1.2k, for example, on MFFU, or nothing, man. I refused to have a red day, and that's really what catapulted me forward, in terms of progress, man. It's very expensive to do that, man, because you're constantly blowing accounts. I would not recommend that, but that really, helped me improve very, very fast. Like refusing to lose, man. But that was very, heavily cost my psychology, man, because it carried over to today. But that is why, because of that, type of mentality, right? Let me quickly find you a example. Let me find you an example, right? I think it was here. But because of that mentality, right, it carried over and yo, my goodness. Bro, why is it so laggy? Alright, it's muted. Alright. Let me find the picture that I was talking about. Oh, it's not this one. Oh, I remember which one it is now. It's this one. Bang. Like, refusing to lose carried over my mentality to this right here. A whole green month with no losing days, man. But once again, it was like a heavy cost of my psychology throughout my journey of trading. That's why I can tell you, man. I hope that helped. At times when you're in a trade and you get potentially swooped out and see immediate rejection from where you got stopped out, or will you re-enter the trade again, or how many points is your set stop loss? I'd only look to re-enter if it's a good area to seek a trade opportunity. But if I see strong rejection, like against my whole trade idea, I just hop off, man. I just hop off. I close and like trade another time later on the day or the next day. My set stop loss is usually from 0.5 0.50 points to 2 points. Stop loss on ES. Hello, just joined. What's good, Henry, man? What's good? 7 out of 10. Okay. Yes. You're banned, man. You can't swear in my server. You can't swear. You're banned. I'm joking. I'm joking. Is there any more questions? Any more questions? Do not be afraid to ask. Give me my money. He has a profile as Joe Goldberg. He claims to get 40 RR every single trade. Wow. I think you get the idea from, the general reaction of the server, man. Give me my money. Let's find him. Wait. What? Which one is he, man? What the fuck am I looking at, man? Oh! Fucking idiot. That's why. Alright, that's just not gonna work. Give me my money, alright. Bro, I cannot find him. Is it this guy? Delta flip as a confluence. Well, not anymore since I don't have Delta on my chart. But when I used to have Delta, yes, I did use it as a confluence. I had to accept the fact that you have to lose, man. You have to accept the fact you're not going to be, 100% win rate, 90, 80, forever, man. You're going to have ups and downs. You're not going to be, at your absolute best constantly every single day, every single week, every month, every year. There's going to be ups and downs. And you have to accept that. You have to search. Oh, it's that guy, okay. Alright, man. It's because I have so many tabs open on my Safari. Motivwave is running. I'm recording. You know, I'm screen sharing over here as well. Hella people on the call, man. It's just let's make my stuff lag. How much delta would you look for a delta flip if you trade in Q? Just a few hundred, man. Honestly, yeah, a few hundred. Something significant. This is the first time I'm seeing this guy, man. What is? I am not watching this, man. What the hell? Is this what you're following, man? Oh my days. No way, man. Alright, bro. Alright, Henry, man. Alright, let's look. Let's look at his most recent video. This guy's gotta be like 13, man. Wow, nice entry, man. Where's it? Where's the arrows? Nice entry, bro. Where's the arrows? Where's the arrows? Where's the actual execution? Wow. Just pop down a ratio count, a ratio, cool. Alright. He finds a random, screenshot from other servers probably and puts his tag on it. Alright. Another ratio. Wow. Aura. 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 Let's go on this next video. Wow, incredible execution, man. Wow. Just puts a lineman and apparently he entered, right? Oh, I get it. So he's a forex trader. Oh, never mind. I get it then. He does his analysis on TradingView and he enters over here. I mean, in that case, if it's actually his photos, then fair play to him. Why is he putting these in, man? That is so corny, man. No, but fair play to him if it's actually his trades. But if I'm being honest, man, I don't think it's his, pictures. No, I can't, man. But if it is, fair play to him. Or have you kind of got it down and moved on to other areas in life? Right now, I am trying to build two businesses at the moment. I'm learning federal contracting and I don't know, maybe do SMMA. Just maybe. I in fact built a website a few days ago. Let me show you. Oh, this is gonna crash. I think. I hope not. I hope not. Oh my god. Alright, only one time, sweet. But this is the website I've built pretty much. So that's that. I'm trying to pretty much just build two sources of extra income. So it's just not trading. Or whatever. This actually crashed my Mac, man. Oh my god. Let's go back to codes. Where the magnets and ham. Alright. Indeed, 100%. What a good time from settings for TPO currently. I'm using build from 5 minutes. Bravo, you've gotta be trolling me, man. You've gotta be rage baiting. No, no, right. Jokes aside, no, 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 no. Just please stop experimenting. You're a beginner. Just use 30 minute to 1 day, man. 30 minute like builds from 30 minutes and TPO 1 day, man. Because this is just stupid, man. 5 minute aggregation, 1 hour. Just yeah. I get experimenting. I done that when I was a beginner, man. Sometimes worked, sometimes didn't, man. But it sounds very stupid, honestly, man. You're not gonna have an edge. It's federal government contracting. It's like for US. All right, man. Just bro for intraday TPO, just use build from 30 minutes and then the TPO is 1 day. Just use the default version, man. It works perfectly fine, and it'll work even better. Is there any more questions? Any more questions, man? S9, Ralph, ZM, Fear, AM, Meatball, Nelson, no, James. Any more questions? Yeah, no worries. No worries. Alright, in that case, if there's no more questions, I will end the call right here. I'll give it one more minute, man. Alright, at 38, I'll end the call if there's no more questions. I'm just gonna sit in silence for one more minute. Which prop firms can you recommend? Top Step is probably the best. Top Step, My Funded Futures, Take Profit Trader, Alpha Futures, I think it's called. These are like the best, man. But beginner friendly, MFFE 100%, man, because you're not paying for activation fees. Although like the first payment cost might be a lot for you. Um, Although with Top Step you could be paying $50, for example, for a 50k account, but if you pass you would be paying an extra 150. But on MFU you're only like paying $100, man, per account with no activation fee, and it's very beginner friendly. The Dharma and Q for beginner. I will trade NQ and it's the only thing I trade. I recommend if you're trading order flow, man, hop on ES, man. Honestly, use ES if you're on order flow. Do yourself a favor, man. You're gonna make it that much easier if you trade on ES. No worries, man. I hope this call was it helped you, man. But in that case, there's no more questions, man. Thank you everyone for joining. I hope you learned something. And yeah, man. Bye bye.